Shane Hewitt in the night shift. Christmas movie battle bracket is on. 71010 is where you text your vote. What is the best movie? We've already whittled our way down over the last few nights through a bunch of movies to these two by your votes, Home Alone and Elf. Which is the best Christmas movie? This will determine the best Christmas movie of the year, by the way. And I can tell you this, our text votes are tied. So you've got to get your vote in, okay? What is the best Christmas movie of all time? Home Alone or Elf? And this one text even made it political. It says, it hurts me to my core. Bloody Donald Trump is probably getting some sort of residuals from his appearance in Home Alone. So it's up to you. What's the best movie? Home Alone or Elf? 71010 text it in. Kris Abel, our tech nerd buddy, holds a warm spot in our nerdy hearts that we all carry with us quietly. The only difference between you and Kris Abel is Kris shares his love of the nerdisms publicly on the radio every week with us here. Where are we going for the tech, Kris? What do you got for us?
All right. Well, we're going to start off with something very handy for traveling, is that Apple has done an update to their Find My feature. This is if you have an Apple AirTag or an iPhone or an iPod or an Apple Watch. The Find My feature allows you to perform a track and a trace, either through GPS or through Wi-Fi, to see where your item has gone to. The advantage now is that when you're at the airport and you're wondering where your baggage went to, when you pull out your phone and you do that trace, you can now send a link to an airline employee, and temporarily they can use their phones to be able to do a trace to try to find your baggage. So this is something that when you go to report that you can't find something, you have a lost article, you can offer to the airlines, hey, I can send you a link, and now you can use your devices to try to track it. It's worth noting, though, that this is a temporary link. So again, after things have been found, 2 or 3 days later, that link is not going to continue to work ever again. You're fine.
Well, that's good. They're not going to follow you when you book your next flight on a different airline because they lost your bag.
Exactly. Yes.
You could always follow your bag. This is the sharing the location is kind of a cool idea. And I struggle with it on one side, Kris, because it's like, well, shouldn't they just know where your bag is? They scan it, like they find it. But if it does create a solution for the problem and the airlines are starting to incorporate existing technology, maybe that's a good thing.
I think it totally is. I have a connection to one of the most famous things lost by an airline. So in 2005, there was a very advanced Android designed to look and sound like science fiction author Philip K. Dick. And in 2005, he debuted in Chicago. I had a chance to be there. I was one of the few people to sit down with the Android. We had a very robotic conversation. It looked like a human being. It had his eyes, his beard, even his clothing. After they packed it up and put it on the airlines, when the plane landed in San Francisco, the Android was completely gone. It had mysteriously vanished. To this day, 19 years later, no one has ever found this poor Android. We don't know where it went to. You would think a large carton with something that looks like a human body in it would have raised some flags, regardless of who opened it, but it has never been found. So clearly, an Apple AirTag would have been very handy back then.
Bodies on airplanes, always weird. So thanks for making it weird, Kris. Very well done.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Have you ever lost your bag like recently?
I haven't. No, I haven't had a problem in terms of losing anything with an airline. I've been very lucky. I've taken lots and lots of flights. And my luggage has always showed up fine. The only connection I've had with anything being lost is that one with Philip K.
Lost bodies. Yes. I can tell I hadn't lost a bag forever. I mean, it was really great. And then I did coming into Ottawa one day, and I knew my bag was still in Toronto because I had an AirTag in it. It was great, but that wasn't really what saved me. The airline said that we'll call you as soon as it gets here to deliver it or come pick it up. They didn't call, but I could tell by the AirTag it was there. I went to the counter. I said, my bag's here. I'd like to grab it. They said, did you get a call? I said, no. They said, oh, okay. And I said, well, I have an AirTag. It's here. I mean, they said they'd call me this morning. It's been here since this morning. And it's like 2:00 in the afternoon. I want my bag. So even they were surprised that I knew before they did that the bag was there. So it can work out. Yeah. All right. I don't know what we're doing with Neon. We're flashing back to the 80s, it seems.
Well, I've been long for years trying to think of what tech I could talk about in terms of New Year's Eve. And so, yes, there's a really cool company in New York called neoncowboys.com, and they create sort of party accessories for, celebrations of big events, festivals, New Year's Eve, for example. And so I've been testing out, they have a cowboy hat, a fantastic cowboy hat, very durable. You can wear it on your head. The whole thing illuminates and lights up. And they've got different colors. There's green, there's pink, there's purple, there's red. So it's a cowboy hat you can wear. It lights up. It can blink. It can flash. It's got a good 8-hour battery life. And what I love is that they know, because you're going to be wearing it at a party, they've made it durable. They've made it water resistant. I've seen a lot of things over the years that people have handed me that light up. They don't really last too long. And so it's nice to know that there's a company that's making these accessories that are designed to last. It's not just the cowboy hat. They also have a pair of glasses, big, huge frames for having a good party time. But then I also like they've got a cyber visor, a wraparound visor goes around your face, that they know that there are people like me who might have prescription glasses, that there's something you can wear over top that still lights up. And again, multiple colors, good battery life, about 6 to 8 hours, and something that when you wake up the next day and you go looking for your hat and it may be crumpled in the corner, it's still going to be something that's going to continue to work, and you can wear it again next year.
I think you meant to say that when you wake up the next day and you go looking for your dignity, at least you'll have a nice hat.
Yes.
This is
well,
good
hopefully
stuff.
the photos will be memorable.
Yeah, or forgettable. Either way, they got to be good. Kris Abel is here. Tech is what we're talking about. It's kind of a sad day in the land of tech. Kris, are you okay? Do you need a hug, my friend?
I tell you, yes. So it's a big moment in that we're starting to see more and more tech companies that have decided to stop making Blu-ray players. And it's not just that this is the end of a format. I've gone through DVDs, the end of DVDs, the end of VHS tapes, but it's the end of physical media entirely. Now everybody's just going to be able to watch a streaming video instead. So there's no more of a tangible thing that you can hold on to collect. So LG, they have now decided they've discontinued. They're not going to make any more Blu-ray players. The Blu-ray players sitting on shelves in places like Best Buy, when those run out, when they are sold, that's it. They're not going to be making any more. Samsung is also a company that stopped. Other companies are expected to do the same. So we are approaching the end of Blu-ray. I don't know how many people have huge libraries, but it's something that you now have to look towards. Your relationship is going to be much like with music. It's something that you have playlists, you subscribe to it, you watch it, and then it's gone. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the relationship that movie buffs have with their favorite movies in terms of having a collection. What is it that you're going to collect? I know a lot of people like myself, we now collect replicas of movie props. And I think that may be a big source for a lot of people who are movie buffs, where you can go and get exact duplicates of some of the objects that actors use to make the movies. I've got duplicates of the Ghostbusters trap and PKE meter. I've got the Barbasol cryogenic can from Jurassic Park. I even have the sword from Kill Bill. It's kind of cool that relationship is sort of evolving and changing.
Yeah, it is revolving and changing. VHS tapes, there was more of them, but they wore out. But high quality VHS tapes are now worth a lot of money. DVDs, there was just so many of them. I don't see that being too valuable. But Blu-rays, you never know. Hang on to them. They could be worth something one day, because there was less of them. It was less popular than some of the other media formats. So you never know. There could be opportunity there as well. Okay, Kris, you got to decide for us, Home Alone or Elf. You got a favorite?
If I have to choose between the two, I guess I would go for Elf. Yes.
Elf gets a vote. 7-10-10. Get your votes in, because with Kris, that gets it tied again. We have to decide before the end of the show. We'll tell everybody tomorrow what the best movie is. Thanks, Kris. Great to see you. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas.
All right, we're going to be back. Kris joins us every single week at this time, by the way, so you can always catch him here with us. And he does repost this to YouTube. If you search Kris Abel, Krisabel, you'll find him there, and on Twitter too. Shane Hewitt in the Night Shift.